Welcome back to the channel. We're the Dirt Nap Bros. I'm Hunter. This is Stefan. Today we're going to be talking about the Rocky Mount 405 crossbow.
Alright, so this is Rocky Mount 405 that we discussed in an earlier video. Talked about different price ranges and different companies that make crossbows. So this is actually a pretty small company. Obviously they're Rocky Mountain 405. I believe they're actually out of Colorado, hence their name, the Rocky Mountain 405. So I bought this for my wife to get into. She grew up hunting with rifles and stuff, and also she was also the deer camp butcher, as we called her. She's butchered all our deer and skinned them all. So we moved to the south, and she wanted to get into hunting. And here in North Carolina, season runs pretty long, September to January 1st.
For bow, you can start in September, ends on January 1st. Yeah?
Yep. So we went down to Field and Streams looking at crossbows, and this is the one that she fell in love with. And I actually love this thing too. Actually, I'm going to pick one up as well because I like it so much. So the main thing with this crossbow right here, so it shoots at 405 feet per second.
Hence the 405?
Hence the 405. It does have a 200-pound draw on this thing.
Now that does not mean that when you draw it, you need to be able to lift 200 pounds. It doesn't. I don't think I could pick up 200 pounds by myself, but I can draw this.
Yeah, I think it's, once it gets to a certain point, it does get easier.
There's a let off.
There's a let off. So with that, I mean, it's no big deal. It comes with the cable to charge it. But for some reason, if you can't do that, they sell this right here. So looks like a little mini, crank for it.
Where does that get inserted into the bow?
So for this, so on the back of the bow right here, as you can see, on the crank itself, there's a little X right here. You just take that right there, and you insert it into the X, and then you just basically release these right here, and these will slide down and hook in just like
your regular charging.
Yep. So this right here is just so my wife can take it out to the field and she can do it herself. And this is literally like it's super easy. Like it's minimal, maybe 3 pounds, just and yeah.
So here in North Carolina, with a crossbow, you can take deer, hogs, turkey, bear, and small game. I wouldn't recommend firing a broadhead at small game. So they sell these like concussion tips that you would aim at and hit it, and just kind of stuns it, and then you kind of finish.
Yep, and you can also with the regs too. So for the like turkey and whatnot, you can also use just your regular field tips for them.
The field tips like your practice tip. So when you first buy the bow, does this one come with your quiver and your arrows?
This comes this one complete kit. It comes with the quiver. It comes with the arrows. It comes with your field tips. And what I do like about this, it has 2 options for your quiver. So you can have your quiver mounted how it is now.
This is for those this is the quiver here.
Yep.
This is what actually holds arrows. There's like a little piece of foam in here they stick into, and they kind of stick out. So when you're walking in, you don't have to hold a bunch of arrows. They just stick in it's called a quiver.
Yep, so it comes with that. So it comes with 2 mounts for it. You mount it this way, or it has an offset mount, which mounts the quiver off to the side with the arrows coming back towards me how I'm sitting. So the main thing with this crossbow that is kind of different than other crossbows, most other crossbows right here, this is metal inside here where the guide channel is. This one is polymer. So I think they did that to cut down weight. This thing weighs around 7 pounds. So they did that to cut down on weight. But like other crossbows, it's metal inside there. And so far, I mean, we shot this all season, and there's actually just a little bit of wear in there, but it's nothing to be concerned about.
It almost looks like just the paint's worn off.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like the material's been like there's nothing wrong with the material. It just looks like whatever they used to paint this has been worn off.
Yep. And it comes with the silencers on there.
These things here, I don't know if you can see these on the string, but these are silencers, and I guess these would be considered silencers. And all it does is as the string moves forward, it helps absorb some more of that noise.
And then the scope on this thing, I actually don't know the brand of the scope. It's just your average just crossbow scope. But I do like the scope though, because it does have a reticle for all your distances, and it has two types of illumination on it. You have a red illumination and you have blue illumination for your reticle. For when you're sitting there in the morning and the sun, after shooting light comes up and it's still kind of just barely lighting up, but it's still shooting light, you can choose your desired lighting level on either red or blue with the scope, which I do like. Then in the back has the built-in feature, so you can put your wax for your strings. After every 5 shots, you wax your strings down, and then it stores it right here in the back of your crossbow, which I love that feature, because if it was not there, I would probably lose this, and I would probably never wax my strings.
Yeah. So me and my wife both own crossbows, and the amount of these little chapstick-like tubes rolling around in my truck and my garage and my hunting box is ridiculous, because we constantly lose these damn things.
Yep. And yeah, I mean, so this crossbow, we shot a deer with this crossbow, and I'm gonna tell you, actually, yeah, this area right here, and it smells like it didn't go 20, but it actually, the deer we shot actually did
go 20.
It did go
this
arrow. Yep.
I think it went like 80.
There's the blood on it.
Right
Right there. There's the blood. Yeah.
Which is crazy. It was a double lung shot. It was a big doe, and she just ran and ran.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, I think it's a great budget level crossbow. Like, it's not crazy expensive, it's not super cheap, it's kind of right there, and kind of like on, it's a great budget crossbow, and it's been reliable. I've had no problems with it. We've shot it a ton and no issues whatsoever.
And so these crossbows down, you'll see it's got a pin here and a pin here with 2 different mounts. So you can put a sling on them.
Yep.
They've got like this little pistol grip with this guard. So as this string is moving at 400 feet per second, whatever it is, at the speed of, Jesus and ducks, it doesn't accidentally take your fingers off. So if you hold that pistol grip, and these guards are going to prevent your fingers from coming up in here in this no-no zone, as his wife told me earlier this year. So you got to really be careful with that. But I mean, crossbows are so simple, they're so easy. When I started hunting, and this is what I picked up, because it just made life so much easier. There are some small things you have to know about them, right? Like, you can't cock them while it's unsafe. It's not going to lock into place. There's a safety mechanism built in. When you cock it, it clicks this back to safe automatically. So it has to be on fire. So it's kind of weird, because like right now, everywhere we go, this thing's on fire. I mean, there's no arrow in, it's not charged, it's not gonna do anything. I can squeeze this trigger all day and it's done, right? But as soon as that thing gets cocked, it automatically puts it on safe for you, which is kind of nice. They're easy enough to use that kids can use them if you got them in a decent enough tripod, or they can hold them up and stabilize them. They can be kind of heavy.
Yep. My daughter shot this crossbow off. She did shoot it. Off the tripod, and no issues.
No issues.
Yep.
You sight them in just like you would a rifle. You pick your desired yardage. I think hunting in North Carolina, we start at 20, so that center reticle's 20 yards, and we kind of back up from there. You just kind of make corrections on your sight here and here. These little caps spin off just like a rifle, and there's an ability to make corrections in there. You make your corrections, you get it dead on, and you back up to your next yardage and keep doing it. And when you are sighting your bow in, is to make sure that whatever field tips you're going to be using, whatever broadhead you're going to be using, you buy the same field tip. So if you have a specific brand of broadheads that you like, that are say 120 grain, go buy 120 grain field tips. Otherwise, it's going to throw that shot off. Most of these bows, when you buy them, are going to come with 3 or 4 bolts. They're not arrows because it's a crossbow, they're bolts. So they'll come with 3 or 4 bolts, and they'll come with 100 grain field tips. I enjoy the 100 grain field tips. I think they get the job done. I will tell you, I've had 120 grain, and all it did was confuse the crap out of me. I ended up spending 2 weeks ago, I spent all night with our kitchen scale measuring out in grams and trying to convert grams to grains in order to figure out which ones were and were not 100 grain. And I'm just going to throw everything away and just solely focus on the 100 grain broadheads for a while.
Yep, I concur.
They're so simple as far as like if you're just getting into hunting and you're looking for something to use as far as a weapon. You're not comfortable carrying a rifle, or you want to hunt archery season but you're not comfortable going and getting measured or trying to figure out the ins and outs of a compound bow. This is a really good way to get into it.
Yep. So I approve this crossbow. I recommend it. If you're in the market for a budget friendly crossbow that's reliable, I definitely would say go with the Rocky Mountain 405. They have 2 different models out there, the 415. And I think they're coming out with a new one this year. But I definitely recommend the Rocky Mountain crossbows. They are a great crossbow, budget friendly, and they are reliable. All right, well, YouTube, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and also, you can't be giving animals dirt naps if you're sitting on your couch.